It seems like the only acceptable discrimination is against the Catholic Church. Is God losing?
Welcome back, everybody. Today is Tuesday of Holy Week, and we are so blessed to have you here. All of you who are commenting on YouTube and those of you in our Facebook group. It's been such a blessing for us to journey along with you. It's been over, I think, close to 40 days. It's been around 40 days that we've been doing this now. That's a long time, so thank you for joining us. And we also want to say a special thank you to our Patreon members, because without you, we couldn't do this.
Yeah, you're sponsoring these videos. You're allowing us to keep all our content free, so thank you so much. If there's anyone that wants to partner with us and join us in our mission, we'll have a link at the end of this video so that you could do that. Thanks for the consideration. Today we continue to share with you what stood out to us in Father Fernandez's book, In Conversation with God.
Pilate asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus replied, "My kingship is not of this world. If my kingship were of this world, my servants would fight that I might not be handed over to the Jews. But my kingship is not from the world."
Who is Jesus? Some people will say Jesus is a good man. Other people say he was just a teacher. Other people say he's a prophet. But if you look at this scripture, I think it's very telling. Because why does Jesus get arrested? Does he get arrested because he says he's a good man? Does he get arrested because he says he's a teacher? Does he get arrested because he says he's a prophet? He gets arrested for none of those things. He gets arrested because he claims equality with God. That's why he gets arrested. This is what ticks off the Jewish authorities so much, because there can only be one God. So they get him arrested. Now he's before Pilate and he says, ask him, are you a king? Jesus, had he been lying here about his identity, the whole God thing, this would be an opportunity to get out. He should have said to Pilate, this whole king God thing, I made it up. It's not really true. So do you mind just going out to the Jewish authorities out there, clearing up this whole misunderstanding, and I'll just go on my way? That would have been the appropriate response of someone who was lying about their identity of being God. But Jesus didn't do that. He stuck to his guns. He says, in fact, the opposite. He says, my kingdom is not of this world. He's affirming who he is here. And I think this is just a good reminder for us to go back to the basics. Who is Jesus? Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He's fully God. He's fully man.
The soldiers plaited a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and arrayed him in a purple robe. They came up to him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews," and struck him with their hands. The weaker he appears, the more promptly should we wish to affirm this title of his, which he possesses by his own right. His kingdom is a kingdom of truth and life, a kingdom of holiness and grace, a kingdom of justice, love, and peace.
Now consider Jesus' kingdom, a kingdom of justice, love, and peace. When you look at the world, does it seem like God is establishing his kingdom of justice, love, and peace? We could almost make the case, and some might, that God is losing, that he's on the losing end of things. Just consider abortion, for example. Millions of babies being slaughtered. This is not just. This is not love. Is this what the kingdom of justice looks like? The morality of society being turned upside down, the complete breakdown of the family, kids growing up in homes without their mom or their biological mom or dad because they're separated. That causes great pain. This doesn't look like the kingdom of love and of peace. Or you just look at the Catholic Church and the numbers in the pew. If the Catholic faith is the fullness of faith, then why aren't the churches full? It looks like God is losing. If it's the fullness of faith, why are the pews empty? So we're like, what's wrong? Or consider more of a local issue here in Canada. Last summer, we had Catholic churches burning, Catholic churches being vandalized, statues being vandalized, churches with red paint all over them. It seems like the only acceptable discrimination is against the Catholic Church. I mean, if you took red paint and you smeared it all over a mosque, there would be outrage. And in no way am I advocating those things. But you take red paint and you smear it all over a Catholic church, and what happens? Silence. silence from those in authority. Does this look like the kingdom of justice, love, and peace being unfolded in our eyes? So it is, in some ways we could say, well, is God losing? But then we turn our attention to when Jesus is condemned to death. It looks like God is losing here too, doesn't it? He's condemned to death, crown of thorns on his head. He's mocked, he's been whipped. We have to remember when it appears that God is losing, it's really a setup for a comeback. Because really it seems that God is losing all the way up until when Jesus is put into the tomb.
Mm-hmm. When all hope is lost, really.
And
he's dead.
He's dead. And there we have the greatest comeback. Jesus is raised from the dead. And so, my friends, if you're tempted to think that God is losing, remember he's in control. He sees all things, and he's setting things up for a great comeback.
Mm-hmm. And I think that if you talk to anybody in the last, if you just speak to people who are active in their faith, you can see that God is moving in many, many ways, in big ways, in people's hearts. Like last night when I went to adoration, there was just so many young people there. And it was so encouraging, so many young men at adoration. And I just felt like, wow, that is inspiring.
And you might be thinking, well, what does that great comeback look like? Well, what we do know is that everything in salvation history is moving towards a single point, which is the end of time, where we have the greatest comeback of all. Jesus comes back to judge the living and the dead. So friends, thank you once again for watching. Share with us what stood out to you below in the comments. Share the video if you've been blessed by it. The rosary is going to be right up there.
Yes. And lastly, get to confession if you haven't yet. I know I'm like a broken record here, but it's true. And I'm just so moved when I see people comment, it's been 4 years since I've gone to confession. It's been 2 years. It's been, who knows, 10 years, whatever it is. But people are returning to the sacraments, and we are so grateful that God's grace is moving you in that direction.
And for those of you who have shared those experiences with us in the comments, thank you. We appreciate that. And if you've been sitting back quietly and you haven't commented and haven't shared how the grace of God has been working in your heart through this Lent, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it's time. You can comment. Yeah, nobody's gonna say something mean.
So, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.